What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Glocko Casino back with another video. You feel me? Um, Today we're doing a reaction video. We're reacting to basically a teen killer getting caught slash arrested, and we're gonna see why he got caught slash arrested. Grab your snacks, grab your popcorn. You feel me? Grab your Reese's pieces. Grab some your Gatorade, your Minute Maid lemonade, pink lemonade. You feel me? Let's get right into the video.
Hello?
My dad is attacking my family.
Your dad is attacking your family?
No, my dad.
These were the chilling words of 12-year-old Daniel James Beaver as he begged for the police to save him from his two older brothers, who were running rampant throughout his house, killing everybody inside. But less than a minute after the phone call began, Daniel could be heard screaming and begging for his life until the line went dead. Police arrived at the scene quickly and were greeted by a gruesome scene that had played out all across the house. Blood was found smattered around the porch, and a faint cry for help could be heard from inside. The plea came from 13-year-old Crystal Beaver,
What?
but everybody else in the house, except for 2-year-old Autumn, was dead.
One of the surviving Bever children, a 13-year-old girl, saying her brothers were fascinated by mass killings for at least a year.
Police heard commotion near the back door of the property and discovered perpetrators Robert and Michael
The
Beaver
hell?
covered in blood and smiling as if they were proud of what they had done. Robert was laughing and told police that killing more than one person had turned him into a god. Unfortunately, Robert's interrogation tape was never released to the public, but 15-year-old Michael's is fully available and gives us some
Well,
insight
that
into
nigga's
what
weird
drove
then.
these boys to commit such a
That nigga's tape didn't get released. That nigga was talking about some weird shit.
brutal crime.
I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened.
A couple months ago, we started talking about rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Robert's room was found filled with weapons and body armor, including machetes, hunting knives, and daggers. Apparently, they'd been collecting all of this for months, but when their sister Crystal told their mother about it, she simply passed it off as normal, saying that boys will be boys, and there's nothing to worry about. She couldn't have been more wrong.
The guns. Where did he start buying guns
All
from?
right, so
She
wait,
simply passed it
what?
off as normal,
So what did they
hunting
buy?
knives, and
Machetes, hunting knives, and daggers.
daggers. Apparently, they'd been collecting all of this for months, but when their sister Crystal told their mother about it,
Nah, my
she
mom would have been
simply
like,
passed it off
"Why?
as
Why you
normal,
collecting
saying
so
that
many
boys will be boys, and there's nothing to worry about. She
knives and
couldn't have
shit?"
been more wrong.
The guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
My dad wouldn't
He
go
bought
for
them
that
online.
either.
I think the website's like Bud's Gun Shop, and he bought two Glock 41, and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Moss Boot, I think.
Oh.
Then he bought 250 shotgun rounds
Okay.
on eBay.
Nice.
Then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glocks.
Wow. Okay.
Where was he supposed to pick those?
The ammunition was being shipped to the house.
Knives and machetes were one thing, but guns and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition are a completely different matter. So once they'd ordered it to their house, they knew that their parents couldn't be home when it arrived. But what did they even need all of these weapons for? It doesn't take 1,000 bullets to kill 5 people. Well, it turns out that the brothers had a much, much bigger plan.
Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we all plotted every night.
Why did he
He's a
want to do it?
sicko,
Because
bro.
he
He's
just
just
it's the
casually
pace.
explaining his
Everyone, he thinks society is pointless and stuff. So he wanted to like beat like
fucking
amount of
plans and
other
shit.
things. People like Columbine and James Deacon Holmes.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill like 50.
Okay.
I don't have a goal.
The two boys stayed up late most nights talking and scheming, and once they realized they were both separately interested in murder, the die was cast, and from their perspective, there was no turning back. The boys had grown a bond throughout their lives due to their living conditions. Their parents, April and David Beaver, were somewhat abusive to their children. They were homeschooled and even told not to interact with children outside of their own family. This left them alone with their own thoughts a lot of the time, and their only perspective
Pretty
of the
weird.
outside
That
world
doesn't
was
make
the
it an
one that they'd
excuse to go
formed
on
in
a
their
killing
own minds.
rampage.
This is how they developed such a negative outlook on society, and what drove them to form the next part of their plan.
You picked a date, you said.
Yeah, which was yesterday. Yesterday night. That was the date.
How'd you pick the date?
It was involving with the packages and stuff we have. Because, you know, all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. His, though, we wanted to kill everyone at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we take the Yukon and we'd have our state with the guns.
So, their plan was set. Michael even said their idea was to cut up and dismember the bodies of their family and hide them in bins while they camped out waiting for the guns to arrive. He even added the gruesome detail that they only left Autumn alive because they had planned to decapitate her with an axe a little while later. But of course, all of these ambitious plans fell at the first hurdle. So, what was it that happened that night that caused everything to fall apart for the brothers? The murders began with Crystal, who had entered their room at 11:30 p.m. on the 22nd of July, 2015, to the sight of them gearing up with body armor and knives. Michael lured her over to his computer, and Robert slit her throat from behind.
And so she fell down and started
What?
screaming.
Yeah, Robert kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because, you know. And then my mom came in and she started yelling, call the police, get dad. And then he came over and started attacking her.
So he stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Yep, same
What
knife.
And
the
where did he stab
fuck?
her?
I think in the neck too.
At this point, Crystal had managed to get up and stumble
It's
out of the
fucking
door in an effort
crazy,
to
bruh.
escape, but
Hold on,
Michael
chat. My bad. Did you hear that though?
quickly followed her and dragged her back inside.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, she was still screaming. And then that's about the time dad came down. They got a little bit of a fight, but then eventually Robert got him down and
Did he cut his throat too?
The three eldest
Oh
members
my
of the family were
gosh.
now well and truly out of action. With their parents dead and Crystal's throat slit, bleeding out on the porch, they just left their four younger siblings, the people they thought would give them the least problems. This is also where we rejoin the story from earlier, and Daniel is on the phone with police
Oh
hidden
my
in his room.
gosh.
next thing on the phone with the police, I grabbed the phone from him, which is my phone. He got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Ugh. Now you don't have a cell phone anymore.
Shortly after, Daniel too was stabbed 21 times in the back, shoulder, and chest.
Oh
The
my
final two
gosh.
victims were hidden in locked rooms, but Michael managed to convince them that Robert was attacking him too. This lured them out, and the brothers finished their attack by once more stabbing 6-year-old Christopher and 5-year-old Victoria to death. Throughout this interview, though, Michael has been placing a huge amount of blame on Robert, even at points saying that he was just standing there, letting Robert do all the work, and that he was only part of this in the first place because he knew Robert was going to do this anyway, and he wanted to be on his good side.
I didn't want to kill anyone who didn't want. I couldn't do it, so I was going to let him like kill everyone.
Yeah, but you stabbed somebody in the neck. I mean,
I just kind of.
how do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like it.
I mean, how do you feel about your mom?
Nigga said, wait, so
How do you feel about you stabbed somebody?
I couldn't do it.
And he wanted to be on his good side.
I didn't want to kill anyone
I didn't want to kill anyone.
who didn't want. I couldn't do it, so I was
I
going to let
couldn't
him
do it, so I was going
like
to let
kill
him, like, kill everyone.
everyone.
Yeah,
But
but you
you
stabbed somebody in the
did.
neck. I mean,
I just kind of.
how do you feel about what you've
Hey,
done now?
I didn't like it.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? You watched her get stabbed. You cut her throat yourself, and you watched her bleed all over the
hey,
place and
break this
scream.
nigga up.
How does that make you feel?
Get him out of here. Fuck him up. I'm not gonna lie.
Think about it.
Unfortunately, though, in his interview, Robert had absolutely no concerns
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for
Blue
free.
Chew.
telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, eventually cluing the cops in that Michael may have had a larger part than he originally let on.
The guys that are interviewing Robert kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did,
Yeah.
and you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest. I'm just one of like hundreds of people that are going to look at this. the state police coming in, and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about. Everybody's been stabbed, and you both had knives, and we know you both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of at the same level. Who's going to be honest and make this right, and who's a liar? Okay, which one do you want to be?
I'm not a liar.
As is often the case, this simple rhetoric was all the cops
You
needed to
are,
use to get Michael to open up
because you
and
literally
finally
just said
confess to being as big a part of the murders as
those
Robert
guys
was.
wasn't really
Michael
doing
admitted to
anything, but
slitting
you
the
killed
throats of
somebody.
Crystal and his mother, as well as stabbing Christopher to death. And as usual, one confession led to another, and we gained even deeper insight into the minds of these twisted teens.
You only stabbed your family because they were in the way towards the bigger plan?
They were in the way and, higher count.
This higher count, I'm confused. Is this a game?
It's more like trying to become famous and get.
It now fully comes to
It's a
light that the murders
sicko.
truly weren't personal to any extent, and that the entire reason for this slaughter, and any that would follow, was just for
Well, you
recognition
got
and
your you got
fame.
your fucking
This became
fame,
even
bro.
more
YouTube
obvious when
video,
searches of the home
ten
revealed
minute
roving
YouTube
surveillance
video.
cameras and storage drives with all of their
Killed
plans
his
saved to
fucking
them.
family for a ten
Robert
minute
later
YouTube
revealed that they
video.
planned to make 2 videos, one to taunt the police
The
with,
hell?
and another to post online. The rest of Michael's interview footage consists of him writing a statement that unfortunately was never publicized. But whatever it was that he wrote must have been pretty messed up, as the detective watching over him couldn't even finish reading it and reacted like this. Of course, at trial, neither of the boys stood much
What
of
did
a
the nigga
chance,
say?
yet Michael attempted to plead not guilty on the grounds of insanity. However, it didn't go so well for either of them, and they were both given 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. The surviving children, Crystal and Autumn, were adopted by the same couple. But the fact remains that this once large yet reclusive family now exists solely as a foul legend on the conscience of every person that lives in the
Wow,
erstwhile
that's
peaceful
sad.
town of Broken Arrow.
Well, pause that. That's gonna wrap up our last video. All right, chat. Let you go over there. All right, chat. Hope y'all enjoyed that video. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Uh, hope I entertained y'all. You feel me? We're gonna wrap it up right here. I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all stay blessed. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Don't be like those two idiots. Fucking weirdos. But yeah, peace.